What's up, guys? It's Mike, the Smokin Monkey, and today we're back at it again with another Jeep video. And it is 420, and we do live in Canada here, so it is legal. So if you do smoke, happy 420 to you. I know I'm a day late because I'm uploading this the day after, but regardless, hope you guys had a great day and you enjoyed your holiday or whatever you guys want to call it. But let's get back to business. Today we are going back down to work on the Jeep. And I've got some unfortunate news. I've been finding a lot of loose bolts, and thank you to the subscriber who commented in the last video. This is why I always tell you guys, drop me a comment, drop me some feedback, let me know what you guys noticed, maybe I didn't notice. And that comment was that my track bar bolt is loose, and the person that actually mentioned it, I didn't know. So thank you to whoever that was. I really appreciate the help, and if you guys ever see anything in my videos that you think needs attention, then let me know, because I don't catch everything. I'm human too, and sometimes you just gotta go and get help from other people because you don't see everything. So I was gonna go replace a whole bunch of things without even looking at the track bar, because I just got a new track bar when I got my lift, and I figured it was put in by a professional mechanic, everything is good. Not the case. So the first thing that was loose was my sway bar link, and it was really loose, like actually stupid loose. If you guys haven't watched that video, if you guys missed that upload, go back and check that one out when I did the sway bar delete, because it was crazy loose. And the condition of those bolts, it's like, the only way I could describe them is it looked like a relic that you find next to an old railroad. Like, they were done. I don't understand how those bolts went back in, but they did. So go check that video out if you guys haven't, because it's a good one. And back to the topic, I'm gonna go and check all my other bolts, because my track bar was loose and who knows what else is loose. So let's go back. I'm gonna check all of my shocks. I'm gonna check my track bar in the front, my track bar in the back. I'm also gonna just check over all of the other random bolts, like the skid plate drop and just anything that's been touched in the last 6 months, just to make sure that it is tight and it is good. I retorqued my wheels the other day because I did install those wheels not too long ago, so those are good to go. I did retorque the skid plate once already, the transmission skid plate, so that should be good. Now let's go back, let's check everything over. We'll go for another drive after we retorque the actual skid plate, not the skid plate, I should say, the actual track bar in the front. Once we retorque that, we'll go for another drive and we'll see how the steering is. It should improve a bit because it wasn't bad. If you guys didn't catch the last upload I worked on the steering and I tightened up the steering a little bit. I'm still going to be getting a heavy duty drag link and tie rod assembly, as well as new control arms all around, all 8, and I plan on doing that soon. But for now, I think let's go tighten up that track bar, let's tighten up everything else, and let's see if it actually improves the drive, because it should, it really should. It's been driving better and better every time I work on it, so having loose bolts is not helping. So let's go down there, let's tighten everything up, and let's see if we can improve the drive just a little bit more without adding any new parts. You guys just saw it, the track bar was loose, and I got a good couple turns on that thing, so it wasn't on there at all how it should have been. It is good now, as you guys just saw. I tested it out, it's not moving anymore. I just checked the footage and honestly it looks like everything is tight up there. I'm just gonna check all of the shocks and the track bar in the rear, then we'll go take it for a drive and hopefully we don't have any issues, but you never know what we're gonna find along the way. So let's finish it up real quick and I'll let you guys know if I find any more loose bolts. Hopefully not. have it. So we basically tightened up everything that was touched in the last 6 months. I did the front track bar, the rear track bar, all of the shocks, front and rear, and I also went and double checked all of the front suspensions, such as the tie rod ends and all of that stuff. But the track bar was a lot more loose than it should have been. The suspension, like the top of the shocks on the front, those needed a bit of work. They were a little loose, but that's because it's a new lift. Whenever you get a new lift after driving it around a while, even every like 5,000 or 8,000 kilometers, you should probably retorque everything just to make sure, because things come loose. Same thing with your tires, your wheels. If you get control arms, just make sure to retorque everything, especially if you go wheeling, just to make sure everything is still tight and you're not having any issues later. But the first thing that I noticed was the shocks at the front needed some work, and the top of the shocks at the back needed some work. The bottoms were good on both, and I guess that's because the actual part that moves, the shaft that moves, is connected to the top. It moves around a bit, and I guess they came a little bit loose. So over time, it's good to check those. I don't blame anybody, the guy that was installing it or anything like that. Those came out as they should be, and I think that, like I said, they will come loose again eventually, but just check them. The track bar was more loose than it should be, a lot more loose than it should be actually. It should be a lot better now after we get it back on the road, but I don't know why it was that loose. I will be looking into that and seeing if it does come loose again or if it was just left loose. But whatever the case is, we'll take it for a test drive in a minute and we'll go and see exactly how it rides. And even though I needed to torque the suspension a little bit in the front, like I needed to turn it quite a bit, that's not necessarily because it was left loose. Like I said, it was probably tight at the time, but after breaking in and settling a bit, it gets a little bit loose. There's a little bit of play there, especially because you're also tightening it down on those rubber like grommets, or those rubber bushings, I should say. They're in between the top hat and the actual shock, and you'll see those compress. You don't want to compress them so that they come outside of the washer. You want to make sure they stay inside of the washer, so don't go too far on those. I think you only need about 20 foot-pounds on the top in the front, 35 on the top in the back, 85 on the bottom in the back, and I think it's like 55 on the bottom in the front. So it's not that much. You don't need too much torque, so don't go nuts. Track bar needs a lot more torque. I think that thing's like 100, between 80 and 100, depending on if you're doing the front or the back. I have to check that again. I don't want to give you the guys the wrong figures, but it's not that much torque. You don't need that much torque, and you don't need crazy tools. So if you have just a regular ratchet set, you can go in there, you can tighten everything up, and you're good to go. So now that we are good to go, hopefully, let's go on the road, let's test it out, let's see exactly what's happening there, and let's see if it drives any different. So driving for like the past 15 minutes or so, it's actually pretty damn good. It's a lot better. No noises, no clunking, no issues, nothing like that. And honestly, the steering is super tight. So if you see, like, you move it a little bit and it goes wherever you want it to. So let me try to pull off on a less busy street over here. But you can see there, I'm changing lanes with very minimal steering, and it feels good. So you can see here, it's a little hard to show you in the turn. But so the steering wheel is actually pretty straight. Move it just a little bit and it still does the job. And everything feels nice and tight. No issues there. Doing this with one hand isn't as easy as it looks. But no, it's driving honestly really well. I'm not having any problems with it. There's no knocking, no nothing, no vibrations. And I think that the next step for me will not be to get the drag link, but it'll be to get control arms. And I think control arms will make a big difference. They'll definitely give me that nice stiff feel that I want, and it'll also give me a lot better articulation too. But overall, I'm pretty happy. I can't complain. It's riding really well. But let's go back. Let's start heading back because it is starting to snow. Yeah, I said snow. I know it looks like it's raining today, but it's actually snowing. It's calling for about 5 centimeters or 2 inches. So not too much. It's not going to be crazy, but it is going to be snowing. So it is something we need to be aware of. But it just means that it's going to be that little bit longer for me to pull out my motorcycle. And unfortunately, I got to keep waiting. I don't want to keep waiting, but how do you ride in the snow? Oh yeah, I took that speed bump like a champ. Well, it kind of stopped raining and snowing for a minute, so we got to fill that brake fluid up. I was a little bit low, so I just topped it off real quick. I don't know if it was recording a second ago or not, because I think it was, but I didn't look like it, so maybe I didn't get that. But yeah, we just filled the brake fluid. So we should be good to go. Everything is nice and tight in the front. Honestly, now whenever I go over those speed bumps like you just saw, you don't hear anything. You just feel the suspension. Like it sounds like nothing, and it just feels like a pillow. Like, it honestly feels great. Brand new suspension feels awesome. Even though it's a rough country, I know rough country isn't the most expensive or the best or whatever, but it is new. So for now, it's gonna ride awesome, at least for this season. And it wasn't that expensive, so even if I have to switch out the shocks, it's not a big deal, and it rides great for now. You don't hear any kind of knocking, anything. Even in the rear before, I had a little bit of, like, you could kind of feel it shimmying or twisting, or I don't know how to explain it. Like, whenever you'd go over a bump, you kind of felt the rear end kind of move over a bit. But since I tightened everything up in the rear, it honestly feels great. No shifting, no bumps, no knocks. I do know that my rear, or all of my control arm bushings are done, so I will still look at control arms, but the steering is addressed and fixed, so we don't have to worry about that. It's all sorted, and I think the next thing that we're going to do is the control arms. I still do want to do some reverse lights, some kind of pods or something on the back, but I'm also thinking of just getting a new bumper altogether. I want to get something with a better toe point in the back. In the front I have the winch and I have tow hooks, but in the back I don't have anything. I don't really have tow hooks in the back. I don't have tow points in the back. I don't have anything that I can really attach to. So I think what I want is to get myself a new bumper for the rear with a tire carrier or something like that, because that tire is not going to last on that that stock tire carrier for too long. For now it's okay. It's not going to be too crazy as long as I don't catch air. But who knows what's going to happen when we hit the trails. And I am planning a trail run with my buddies already. The trails open on May 1st, but there are some back roads and some other trails that we can hit up before then. So stay tuned for that, because there will be more of that. And the SV is still hibernating. The bike is right in there. It is kind of hidden. You don't really see it, but it is going to be coming out eventually. As you guys can see, it's hidden pretty well. It's hard to see in here right now, but believe me, it's under there. And maybe, yeah, you can kind of make out the Smokin monkey sticker right there. But honestly, guys, it is still cold and it's still raining and it's still snowing. Like if you see, it is 2 degrees. 2 degrees isn't that great. I think that's probably around 37 or 38 degrees Fahrenheit. So still pretty cold. Honestly, I think we're going to wait another couple weeks, maybe 2 weeks, and then I'll pull the bike out. It should be steady around like 50 or 45 or 50 around there. And if I wear enough clothing, I should be good to go. But as far as the Jeep goes, we will be planning or trying to go off-road this week, hopefully. And it is now Tuesday, and hopefully I'll be going off-road this Friday or Saturday. So stay tuned for that video, but I think everything is sorted out pretty well, so I can't wait to get it out there and try it out, because it's not making any noises, it's not making any pops, it's not making any kind of weird shimmies or anything like that. It rides great. So maybe that track bar was an issue, because before I felt a lot of looseness, and now it feels great. We barely adjusted the steering box. If you didn't see the last video, check that one out. But we didn't do too much to the steering box, and now all we really have to do is go and take it off-road and do a shakedown run, because everything feels nice and tight. And once again, thank you to the guy who pointed out that I needed to adjust that the track bar was loose. I actually didn't know it was loose. Thank you for letting me know. Even during editing the video, I didn't even notice it. And that's why I count on you guys to help me out. And as much as my videos help you guys do different jobs on your vehicles or just whatever the case may be, you guys help me out a lot with your comments too. So definitely drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys like. Let me know what you guys want to see. And also let me know anything that you guys think that I might have missed. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sticking around this long in the vlog. And if you guys are new around here, consider subscribing. Jump down there, hit that button, because there's tons more great content coming your way, and hopefully you'll be there with me to see it. And until next time, guys, ride safe out there. Peace.